Hello, testing. Testing. Hello. Hello. Did I hit go live? Did I hit go live? Hello. Testing. Hello. Testing. Testing. Hello. Testing. Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, let's get started. Let's get started, everybody. It's a nice day. It's a little cold, a little nippy here for some reason. Also, my teeth hurt because I've been eating Jordan almonds. But whatever. Those really hard almonds. Coated in like candy. I really shouldn't, but you know, a little bit. Oh wait, wrong. 1 second, I'm on the wrong save file. We gotta go to the other one. We gotta go to the other one. Where I've been putting, where I actually have a lot less time in this save file. Okay, yeah, so we killed the rat or whatever. We killed the the illusory corrupted monk. So I can't remember if we got the shelter stone or not. I guess we must have. I wonder what's up with the shelter stones. Is that like a thing that I just don't get in Japanese mythology or something? The shelter stone? I don't know. They haven't explained the shelter stone. The lotus, I guess, makes sense, right? It's like a flower, you know? Like you have like a great old flower or something that's like, you know, lives in water or whatever, but the shelter stone I can't quite say I understand, but you know, whatever. Okay, so we go to castle. And then from castle we head to Old Grave. Because we need to kill the monkey still. We need to kill the monkey. Mamma mia, the monkey. We need to kill the monkey. The silly monkey. The everyone's favorite Sekiro character, the silly monkey. That's what they call him. The silly monkey. That's what he is, the silly monkey. The silly, silly monkey that everybody knows from Sekiro. The silly monkey of Sekiro fame that everybody loves. We have to kill him. The very silly monkey. That's what they call him. That's his name, that's his boss name. When you fight him, it's like the health bar shows up on the corner of the screen and it says very silly monkey. The very silly monkey. That's the name of the boss that we're gonna go fight. Is the very silly monkey. And yeah, that's canon and everything. I need to do like a, what I should do is I should actually Photoshop, I should like take a screenshot. This is something I'm not gonna do, but this would be a really good idea, is taking the monkey's, taking a screenshot of the monkey and like calling him the very silly monkey. I think that would be really funny. I would laugh really hardcore if that happened. The very silly monkey. Because that's what he is. He's a very silly monkey. A very, very, very silly monkey. A comedically funny fellow chap of the monkey variety. That, Ow. Oh wait, we need to kill Shirahuji first. Boo. I forgot about Shirahuji. We gotta kill Shirahuji first. Oh boy. Oh boy, not Shirahuji. Not Shirahuji. Oh, uh-oh. Well, you know, first you gotta do that. You gotta drop dead on accident. Then we gotta kill Shirahuji. Wow. Wow, awesome. Thanks, Gecko, for poisoning me. Thank you, Gecko, for poisoning me. What is going on here? What's this to do? What's all this? What's with all the ghosts, man? Just because I'm a new game plus 2 billion, they got an army of ghosts. Oh fudge! They got a freaking ghost army on me. Oh shoot! There goes that. Luckily, I hit the bonfire, so it's cool. It's amazing how crazy these areas get when you start really getting into them. Okay, we need Lazuli Sabumaro for this. It is better than fire for this particular boss. Oh. Ninja shenanigans. There we go. And there is a way to backstab this boss, actually. But I don't really know of it. I know it, I think you have to go the other. You have to come from behind, which is, in my opinion, not worth it. There's like way too many good reasons not to do that. Oh. There's like way too many good reasons not to come from behind. So I'm not sure exactly why that's such a thing. Oh shoot. and then just instant death. Yeah, good. Excellent, thank you. Thank you, Sekiro. You're teaching me to laugh. You're teaching me to laugh again. Oh shoot. You're teaching me how to laugh again. Oh, come on. Yeah, there you go. You just goof it up real good. Just goof it up real good like that, and it's just the way it is. Gotta just go for it again. You gotta just go for it again. This is why I kill all the mini bosses, just so we're clear. Like I was thinking earlier today, it's like, why don't I just skip all the mini bosses? And this is why, because these are not enemies that I can just like ignore. These are not effortless foes. These are absolutely not effortless enemies, and these can absolutely kill me. Oh my gosh. See right there. Make one mistake, and it's just death. But this is why we love Sekiro, isn't it? Isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? This is why we love Sekiro. If it weren't for this kind of stuff, what would Sekiro even be about? This is the substance here. This is what makes life worth living. Boom, 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 boom. Boom! That's what it's all about, you know? It's all about that hyper armor. Fudge. Oh my gosh. See, once again. There you go. Lucky we can do that. Oh my gosh. Come on. Come on from behind the rock, please. Pulse. This boss in particular is pretty goofy. I'll say that much. Yeah, this is... I don't even know why this is an issue. There you go. See, I wander on this side because... if she's on that other side... Oh, fudge. Oh, come on, man. Oh, my gosh. Straight into the grab. The hyper armor grab. Oh my gosh. Can't even kill Shirahuchi. Ah, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. This is going well already. we're already having a good time here. Once again, I like you know, that's why I'm killing this boss, is because you'll see, like, there's a lot of challenge in these enemies. These are not nothing. Boom. Try to lure her over to this side. Come on, right into this in the posture break. So you just can't keep your eyes on everything all at once, huh? Oh my! Oh, right into the oh, oh, it's so brutal. That is just so brutal. That is just so unspeakably brutal. Because I get the posture break. I don't expect a posture break. The dumb posture break. That's so brutal. We were like almost there too. Why is this? I don't know. Why is this such a problematic boss? Oh my gosh. Straight into the grab. You can't like do anything to this boss. You have to play like extremely passively, which is like really annoying. You have to play like extremely reactively. There it is. You have to play like extremely reactively to this boss. Yep. Oh, come on. See, there's no room in the behind me to backstep, so I have to parry it. That is so brutal. There's no way around it. This is just like such a brutal fight, actually. Whatever. It's finally done. That is such a brutal fight, actually. Like, kind of shocking, actually. How it's like you cannot make a mistake at all on that boss. The grab will instantly kill you, and that's so crazy. I'm like blown away. Not to mention this section here too. Jeez. Ridiculous. And you know, well, again, I mean, there's nothing you can do. There's actually nothing I can do about that. Maybe I can try to bait them to fire first, but sometimes you can get through just fine. It's just crazy. This part is nuts. I don't know what they're thinking with this part. That boss is just so awful. But I mean, there's a lot of bosses that are just kind of punching bags. They just like hit them over and over and over again and stay right on them, and you just kill them. So I guess that boss is at least kind of different, but still, that's like, it's so crazy. It's like there's a lot of like really tough mini bosses in this game actually. Like it turns out that the mini bosses are actually all really, really, really tough to have to deal with. And that's all considering the fact that I also have whatever it's called. Oh shoot. And that's considering the fact that I have jeez, my gosh. And that's even considering the fact that I have I guess I could gotcha eat sugar for this, so there you go. Like these enemies are kind of just like punching bags. Oh shoot. Unless I really unlucky with the one below. Ow. Boom. Only problem with this game is I hurt my finger tendon. I'm like hurting my finger tendon, I think. Just like a little tiny bit. Boom. Boom. Stabby, stabby. This way. Over here. Take a rest. Now we have to fight Centipede Giraffe. Our reward for all of that is Centipede Giraffe. I should bounce on his head, actually. For some reason, I don't know how. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. There it goes. And ghosts just pop out of nowhere. Just to harangue me, or I guess? There they are, yeah. So samurai ghosts just appear out of nowhere. So we skip those. Okay. Into the old water. Swim this way. Okay. And honestly, there's still a bunch of work I have to do. Because the gauntlets of strength are going to be really tough. So isn't this number 6? I can't remember what cycle this is. I think it's this one and then 2 more. It's this one, or I guess technically 3 if you count number 9. Because we have to do number 9. So I can kill Emma and Ishi and Ashina. But that one, I'm going to skip all the mini-bosses. Because by 8, it will have capped out already anyway. So, no point in doing all the mini-bosses a second time on 9, or on 8. That'll be a good opportunity to showcase like how fast you can beat the game in if you really, really want to. If you're like really committed to beating the game fast, you absolutely can do it very quickly. You can do it in like less than 3 hours or something. Like 2 hours, maybe. Something like that. Because you just skip Shirahuji. You can't skip Shirahagi. So there's like a bunch of bosses you cannot skip. So you can't skip Long Swordsman. So it's Gyobu Oniwa. Or no, so it's you only have to do the essential bosses, and the essential bosses actually aren't that many of them. It's like It's like Chained Ogre, or it's... It's like Chained Ogre. It's Chained Ogre, Gyobu, or basically it's the one, it's Shinsuke Saze. I don't know if it's actually intended you're supposed to skip him or not. I guess I could look into it. Because there is a way to skip Shinsuke Saze, but it might actually be faster to kill Shinsuke Saze, depending on what happens. I think probably not. I think I might actually skip Shinsuke Saze. And then once Genichiro's dead, it's just Armored Warrior, Folding Screen Monkeys, Shirahagi, or no, is it Shirahagi? Am I wrong? Or it's Long Swordsman, Shirahagi, Miss Noble, Corrupted Monk, Illusion. Oh shoot, dang. I got really, really dumb there. Corrupted Monk, Illusion. Corrupted Monk, Illusion, and then Monkey, and then Guardian Ape. And then... yeah, and then it's just Ishin, Ashina, and Emma. So there's like not even that many mini-bosses. It's like actually not even that many mini-bosses. Boom. Slice. Poor monkey. Poor little monkey. Okay. Where's my spear? Boom. And then, well, let's see here. So wait, how many is that? So that's, and you can skip the tutorial boss too. So it's Chained Ogre, so 1, Chained Ogre, Gyobu, Chained Ogre, Gyobu, Blazing Bull, Genichiro, Armored Warrior, Folding Screen Monkeys, that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, because you have to do Giraffe. Centipede Giraffe. So it's like 11 bosses total. It's roughly 11 bosses, I think. Oh. My phone went off. Boom. Stabby, stabby, boom. Stabby, stabby. So yeah, it's like 11. There's only like 11 bosses, when ordinarily there's... how many is there? How many is there if you do all bosses? How many is there in the all bosses route? Right. So there's the 3. So there's 1 general, chained ogre, 2nd general, Gyobu. So that's 4. And then 3rd general, 5. Jinsuke Saze. There's either like 11 or there's only 11 or 12 mandatory bosses. I guess if you count Emma and Ishin Ashina, that's 2, but like whatever. Honestly, there's a lot of freaking bosses in this game. Holy heck. The funny thing is, bad ending is actually my favorite. I'm a big sucker for Owl. He's like my favorite character. Because it's not really clear where he went or why he did what he did or anything like that. They kind of never explain it. Owl like being one of the more interesting characters. Speaking of Owl, we're gonna go hang out with him just like right now. Well, first I'm gonna kill Chained Ogre and then the next ninja. So we're gonna need Flame Vent here. The Blood Smoke. I can use Bestowal. Yeah, maybe we'll use Bestowal. We'll just like do that real quick. Why not? Lotus of the Palace. Boom. That's real simple. And then we go this way. Travel. Back to the abandoned dungeon entrance. Yeah, so I don't even know how many bosses there are if you're doing every boss. It's a lot. If you're doing every boss and mini-boss, there's a ton. It's actually kind of like a crazy number now that I think about it. Because I'm trying to think here, like, so there's 2 chained ogres. There's 3 generals, 2 chained ogres, that's 5. 2 bulls, so that's 7. 3 headless, so that's, oh shoot, I know I'm like, there's like no, I need to like do this like in an organized way. But there's like 4 ninjas too. Yeah, there's 4 ninjas. There's 4 sumo wrestlers. Wait, I can do this. I can do this in my head if I just like, it's like, I feel like I'm struggling to do this in my head. So 3 generals. Okay, think. 3 generals. 3 generals. 2 ogres. That's 5. 5 headless. That's 10. 3 Shichimen warriors. That's 13. 4 ninjas, or is it 5 ninjas? 4 ninjas. So that's what was the count again? Oh gosh. Oh boy, that's so rough. Uh-oh. To try to count these stupid bosses. I guess I could just go in order, right? So first general, that's 1. Second general, chained ogre, that's 2. Second general, that's 3. Gyobu, that's 4. Blazing Bull, that's 5. Jinsuke Saze, that's 6. Third general, that's 7. Or wait, I don't count the generals. Oh god. Yeah, no, it's third general, that's 7. Third general is 7. Genichiro is 8. Okay, no, we have to start again. Okay, first general, or no, I guess it would be tutorial general, right? So there's 4 generals if you count the tutorial general, right? So tutorial, and then Genichiro, we'll count, the first time you see Genichiro, we won't count that, because you can't beat him. Right, so first general, 1. Tutorial general is 1. First general is 2. Chained ogre is 3. Gyobu is 4, or second general is 4. Gyobu is 5. Blazing Bull is 6. Third general is 7. Jinsuke Saze is 8. Jinsuke Saze is 8. Genichiro is 9. Genichiro is 9. 3 bosses in Hirata Estate. So that's 12. 12. 3 bosses in Senpo Temple. So that's 15. Spear Guy is 16. Long Swordsman is 17. Shirahagi is 18. Shirahagi's 18. Who's next? Sumo Wrestler is 19. Miss Noble is 20. Oreen is 21. Corrupted Monk is 22. Shirahuji is 23. Centipede Giraffe is 24. Monkey is 25. Monkey's 25. Okay. So the next Chained Ogre is 26. Second Chained Ogre is 26. The next Ninja is 27. Great Shinobi Owl is 28. The next Ninja is 29. Corrupted Monk again is 30. Corrupted Monk again is 30. Sakura Bull the Palace is 31. Sakura Bull the Palace is 31. Okami Leader Shimizu is 32. Divine Dragon is 33. Hirata Estate rematches is another 3, so that's 36. 36. And then 3 more mini bosses is 39. And then 39, and then Demon of Hatred is 40. Demon of Hatred is 40. And then 5 Headless, so 45. 5 Headless, so that's 45. 3 Teacherman Warriors, so that's 48. Monkey Rematch, so that's 49. And then Ishin Ashina is 50. So it's 50 bosses in Sekiro, I think, if my count is correct. If you count all, that's absolutely crazy. Of course, to be fair, a lot of them are like this, so it's like whatever. That is so crazy. 50 freaking bosses in this game. Oh my gosh. It's crazy to say out loud. It's a lot of bosses for this game. So it's pretty crazy that I can even beat this game and that I'm like approaching beating this game in like 6 hours, actually. Oh boy. That's actually like really wacky when you think about it. 6 hours. My goodness. How does somebody even do that? It's just it boggles the mind to a certain extent. It gets like really crazy when I think about it. This has been quite the process. I will say Sekiro has been eye-opening. Not in a good way, in some way. In some ways in a really good way, but not entirely in a good way. It's almost like too much. It's like too difficult, too much work. Too much craziness. Chichue. Okay. Break the iron code. Gotta break the iron code. Gotta do that, bro. Uh-oh. Did I forget to do... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I may have forgotten to get the branch. Hopefully I still can. I may have forgotten Father's Bell Charm. Not the end of the world, but obviously not my favorite either. So hopefully I didn't. Hopefully there's still a way for me to get it. I'll look it up. That's like one of the toughest parts of the run too, so it's like really lame that I forgot it actually. Yeah, that's... I should have done... Well, you can't until you... Yeah, so I forgot. That stinks really bad. Usually it had... the break point for this one was in an awkward spot, so I just like forgot. Gotta love that chip. Very silly. I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can recover that. See if I can recover the all bosses route. But yeah, that actually kills all. That technically, I'm not going to kill all bosses per cycle, cause I'm not going to be able to kill the 2 mini bosses in Hirata Estate, and I'm also not going to be able to kill Owl Father, which is a shame because that's actually one of the more interesting fights in the game. Boom. That is by far one of the more interesting fights in the game. So the fact that I'm not gonna be able to kill him is like, oh, you know what? Let's just bust it down. I got 2 spirit emblems. Who's blowing up my heckin' phone? Boom. Boom. Uh-oh. Yeah, there goes that. There goes that. Oh boy. That's pretty good there too. Freaking Lloyd's Talisman. Do you think maybe what they did was they originally planned for there to be PvP in this game, but they never implemented it, and so like they just gave it to this boss? Is like the impression that I get. I could be wrong, but there's a lot of stuff about this game that kind of feels that way. Where originally it was gonna be more Dark Souls like, but over time the scope of the project kind of narrowed. Maybe like Activision didn't give them as much money as they wanted. Whereas like Bandai Namco was giving them like a ton of money for like Elden Ring and stuff. Yeah. Activision to me kind of feels like a cheapo company that, you know, doesn't want to pay as much. Come on. Pays to be patient here. Really does. It really does pay to be patient for this fight. Let's see if I can get Bell Charm. I probably can't. I actually probably cannot get Father's Bell Charm, but we'll pretend that maybe I can, and we'll look at that. We'll take a quick look at that, because maybe I can. Maybe I can still get Father's Bell Charm. I hope I can. I don't think I can, unfortunately, but we'll look. Maybe there's like a... I feel like that's really dumb. If I can't get Father's Bell Charm still, that feels to me really wrong. But who's to say? I'll just Google that really fast. Like, getting Father's Bell Charm after Owl. Getting Father's Bell Charm after Owl. Let's take a look here. Okay, we'll see. I think maybe we'll go through it and we'll try. There's a decent chance I can still get Father's Bell Charm. So we'll look into it. Oh, here we go. Here's Emma. Okay, we'll just drain their dialogue and hope that I can still do it. Just hope. Hope. Okay, Owl, yeah, killed Owl, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah, kiddo. Come on. Come on, give me the Father's Bell Charm. Okay, that's something. I don't know what that is exactly, but we'll pretend that's good. Okay, we got the stone. Stone text. Okay. Yep. Mortal Blade text, okay. Please give me the Bell Charm, kiddo. Okay, so we talked to Emma. I think it's working. I think this is the dialogue here. I do believe that this is the dialogue here. Okay, Severin, yep, Immortal Severin scrap, that's good. Okay, go back to Kuro. What's up, kiddo? Yep. Got the Delio. Okay. Talk to Emma really quick. Okay, so that's the end. That's the final dialogue for him. So we're gonna go around here and we're gonna see if I can eavesdrop. There. Okay. Yep. I think that's it. Nope. Where is it? Boom. Yes, I can. I'm gonna be able to get it. I'm gonna be able to get Father's Bell Charm. I think you cannot get it coming back from the Divine Realm. Maybe you can. I don't know. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wait, maybe we talk to him really quick? Uh-oh. I think it's stalled out, unfortunately. Maybe oh no, no. We need to leave. Duh. We need to leave and come back, actually. Do I have rice? So we'll maybe get some rice really quick. Oh no, I have rice, okay. Well, we need to leave and come back. We actually need to, yeah, because we need her to be at the top of the stairs. She won't talk about this topic in front of Kuro. So she needs to. So she moves to the top of the stairs. That's how you know that you've triggered the Father's Bell Charm dialogue. We'll see. Come on. Big money, no whammies. Come on. Oh, she's gone. Okay. Okay, I agree. Crow could not be allowed to die. Yes. Okay, so I need to leave again. I think I got really lucky. We'll see. She might not give me the Tomoe scrap. Because she's supposed to give me the Tomoe note that tells me where, she's supposed to give me the Tomoe note, but I think there's a good chance she will not give me the Tomoe note. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see. And then I gotta go to Old Grave. Oh, and speaking of which, I gotta kill the other ninja, too. There's another ninja I have to kill as well. Lest I forget. Lest I forget the Yashariku ninja. Yep. Okay, there's 10 ways down. Okay, now I go to the grave. Now I go to graves. Travel. Where is it? Old Grave. Yeah, so we need to go to Castle Tower Lookout. And I have to go to Old Grave anyway. So I can grab, so I can kill the Yashariku ninja. So this is just fine. Yeah, I'm really lucky that I was able to get Father's Bell Charm after Owl. Because I didn't think you could. I wonder if you can get it after Divine Realm. Let me take a look at that. Getting Father's Bell Charm after Divine Realm. Let's see if I can do it after Divine Realm. Is it possible? Oh, okay, it's impossible. Yeah, so if I kill Divine Dragon and then come back, I don't get Father's Bell Charm no matter what. Well, because Sculptor is dead. So Sculptor goes hollow. Sculptor turns hollow. And then when Sculptor turns hollow, that's that. Once Sculptor goes hollow. You can't have the conversation where Emma talks to him. So like that wouldn't make any sense. If you could get Father's Bell Charm after Divine Dragon. Because the Sculptor will be the Demon of Chaos or whatever. Or what's it? Demon of Hatred. So that's no bueno for the Sculptor. So yeah, unfortunate. Big Sculptor fan, by the way. Big huge Sculptor fan. He's like my favorite character. Poor Sculptor. Dude, they have little headbands. They have little ninja headbands. The doggos have little ninja headbands. Look at that. They have little metal ninja headbands. Oh, that was overkill. They have cute little ninja headbands. Look at that. They got cute little ninja head. Isn't that just precious? Gosh. Sekiro never fails to amuse me. They got cute little ninja headbands. Oh my goodness. Little doggos. Bam. Oh shoot, wrong one. Sorry, Masunaga. There he goes. I believe that's Yashariku Sugar. But I don't know if it actually reduces his HP. I kind of get the impression that it does not. Yeah, so there's 5 ninja. Or is it 5 or is there only 4? Uh-oh. Oh shoot. I didn't Mikiri counter that correctly. I was like slightly out of position. There's 5 ninjas. So the first guy's vanilla. Boom. This guy's poison and Yashariku Sugar. It's like really weird. Come here. Shoot. Fudge. Jeez. Gotta do it again. Gotta do it again. This arena's pretty bad. It's not like the worst, but it's pretty bad. So, not a surprise I died to that. I also let him Yashariku Sugar, which I shouldn't have done. Not that there's like that much I can really do about it. Because you need to have a prosthetic tool set up to hit him out of Yashariku. So she'll go to Orangutan, and then she'll give me Father's Bell Charm, basically. So yeah, luckily I sorted that out. I realized. Usually I do it before Monkey. because I didn't know if you could get it after Owl, but if you can get it after Owl, you can get it after Owl. But there will come a point where I cannot get Father's Bell Charm, and that's like 2 or 3. That's like one of the hardest bosses, and 2 of the hardest mini bosses by far. And so if you don't do that one, that's you're not, you know, you're missing out a little bit there. Like if I accidentally forget one of like the early game mini bosses, I'm like, you know, whatever, who cares, right? You know, it's the way it is sometimes. You know, it's like on my Dark Souls 2 playthrough. Come on. Who did I miss on my Dark Souls 2 playthrough? I didn't kill Smelter Demon in Covenant of Champions, so I fought like a slightly easier version of Smelter Demon in one of my cycles. It's like it's gonna happen. There's like a lot to keep track of, you know, and so it's just gonna happen. There's nothing you can do really. It's a shame, and I will, you know, if you're letting it happen like way too much or with every boss, it's like, you know, are you really doing it? But at the same token, if you're like making little mistakes here or there, it's just like whatever. Oh no, not, you know, Smelter Demon. Although I think I forgot no mini bosses, I don't think. I don't think I forgot a single Dark Liquor. I could be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure I did not forget a single Dark Liquor. I didn't forget a single... So I think I've been really good about mini bosses. I think I've gotten every single one. I think I have not forgotten a single one thus far. Don't quote me on that. Because if I'd forgotten one, I wouldn't have recognized it. I wouldn't notice, you know. But as far as I know, yeah, there's never been a situation where I've like killed Ishingasha and been like, oh, I forgot this guy, or whatever. It's so far that hasn't happened, as far as I know. Okay, so we need to go to Dilapidated Temple to get the Father's Bell Charm, and then I'll do Father's Bell Charm after Divine Realm. Divine Realm is a little more, Divine is a little easier, I think, than Father's Bell Charm, so I'll probably save Father's Bell Charm for the end. Oh, wait. Oh, she's doing Dread? Yeah, so I need to reset the area, too. Because this is not the scene I want. This is the one where she's gathering his blood. Uh-oh. What's going on? I dropped a bunch of frames, sorry. No! Okay, jeez. I'm so sorry. No! That stinks so bad. Okay, finally, I think we're back. I think we're finally back. I can see my internet blip there. Okay, we're good. I'm sorry. That stinks so bad. That stinks so bad that my internet blipped there. Luckily, I'm upgrading my internet soon. When I move, my internet will be better, so who cares? Yeah, so we'll go to the Inner Sanctum. And then we'll come back. We'll come back to the Dilapidated Temple. Yeah, sorry about the internet blip. I saw that on my software, and I'm like, what's going on? See, I can never catch a break, right? My computer's crashing. My microphone sounds like crap. You know, I can never catch a break with YouTube. You know, it seems like I can never get lucky. It seems like I'm always unlucky with my YouTube connection or my something. You know, something's always going wrong. But that's life for you, you know. What are you gonna do? To a certain extent, you just have to, you know. So wait, you know, death and taxes, as the saying goes. That's kind of the idea. You know, it's like if you're YouTube streaming, and you have internet, your internet's gonna go down. You're gonna Vine Ryzen. You're gonna Vine Ryzen it. That's the meme from Vinny Vinesauce where he's like, where like his internet was really choppy, and so he has like the Vine Ryzen meme. See, that's Vine Ryzen core when my internet craps out on me. Very, very Vine Ryzen core. Highly, highly, highly Vine Ryzen core. You know, but what can you do? Literally, what can you do? What can you do, right? There's just not much you can do about it. But you know what? It could be worse. You know, it really could be worse. My internet could still be down. You know, my stream could still be interrupted, right? But it's not. So there you go. You know, when you put it all into perspective, a little blip on the internet doesn't kill It's not going to kill me. It's not going to kill anybody, you know? And for that, we should all be thankful, you know? Especially me, you know? Because the internet could be worse. You got to respect that. So you got to respect that when infrastructure is down or whatever, you know? It's how it is sometimes, you know? And I've been there. I've been ungrateful, you know? It's true. I've had scenarios where where internet infrastructure's gone down and I've been mad. You know? It happens. It's part of life, you know? Gotta remember that the infrastructure, you know? It's not perfect. But, oh well, you know? Oh well indeed. So now we just gotta go kill, whatever, what's this thing called again? Corrupted Monk. Yeah, that's right. We gotta kill Dude Bro, Corrupted Monk. The Corrupted Monk Dude Bro. Corrupted Dude Bro is what they should call him. The bosses, you know, Silly Monkey, Corrupted Dude Bro, Genny, Lady Moth, Stinky Ninja Man, Lady Moth, Lady Venomoth, Lady Butterfree. Everyone's favorite boss, Lady Butterfree. Oh shoot. What's this guy called? What did I call this guy? She's actually really cool. I actually really like this boss. Cause she's like a warrior monk, I think. Like this is like a Sengoku era myth about like a warrior monk who's like like a pole arm wielding warrior monk who's like really awesome. Uh-oh. Is like the idea. And I love her music. Her music's really great too. So there's like a legend. She's supposed to be based on a legend about a woman who eats the meat of a mythological creature and then becomes immortal, and so becomes a Buddhist monk, realizing that she's immortal. And that's like the idea behind the enemy, I think, or at least that's what the YouTube videos say. But I think more broad. Oh shoot! Come on. I think more broadly, she's supposed to be like a warrior monk too. Represent like the warrior monks of the monasteries in Sengoku era Japan. By far one of my favorite bosses. One of the more interesting bosses in the game, actually. But not that difficult either. Oh shoot! Come on, man. That's not right. We're cooked, unfortunately. We're literally cooked. I was not supposed to fight the second phase. The window closed, yeah. So we're gonna die to this boss. Probably. I don't know. Maybe I can do it. Maybe I can. I mean, I'm already getting pretty good posture damage down. Oh wow, okay, I'm actually probably gonna do it. As long as she. Oh wow, I did it! I freaking did it! No death blow. Good job, man. Good job. That's actually really crazy. Cause I didn't get this. I didn't get the cheese death blow. Uh-oh. Crazy! I've never done that phase that smoothly. I got lucky. I got really lucky there because she didn't do the shadow attack when the shadow attack is the hard part of that phase. So like, there's actually kind of no. What do you even... Okay, see, I don't even know that. And then easy come, easy go, you know? You're doing good in 1 minute, and then the next minute, you get locked up in a combo, and you just die immediately. Luckily, it puts me back up here. So it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I mean, you know. There you go. I did pretty good for a minute there. Also, I didn't grab the bonfire for some reason. Go figure. Go figure. Okay, I mean, I could, well... I actually don't know what... The problem is this boss isn't really that hard. Which is funny considering I just died. But I've never considered this boss a challenge, and so I've never tried to optimize it with, I'm just doing bad here. So I've never tried to optimize it with, fudge. With prosthetics. I just do Mortal Blade on some of the attacks, if I can. Like, right here is fine. The thing is, for the second phase, she takes so much posture damage. So for the first phase, it's like she's like a health boss. Where you really want to drain her health, mostly. And then for the second phase, she kind of becomes a posture boss for some reason. I'm not sure why. So you don't really need to Mortal Blade her here. Mortal Blade's nice against bosses that block like mad and take like no posture damage. And that's kind of the thing. So there's two uses for Mortal Blade. It's to either knock enemies out, it's to either push through enemy hyper armor, which is like really crucial actually. So some attacks you can actually stagger bosses out of their attacks by Mortal Blading, and that's actually really massive. So like Ishin Ashina and Owl Father and stuff, you can stop some of their attacks preemptively by Mortal Blading. And get a bunch of damage too while you're at it, which is what makes it even better. The thing is that, the thing about it is that, otherwise it's not that worth doing, right? So like I can get some extra HP damage off on this boss, but it's unlikely to really make that much of a difference for me. At least in my experience. This phase is actually really fascinating because she turns into a health boss. So like Mortal Blade, not only are there no... I've actually tried to use Mortal Blade on this phase a lot. Using Mortal Blade on this phase was one of my main pet projects while I was learning this fight on this difficulty. And what I discovered was you can't really do it. She punishes Mortal Blade too hard. And she's kind of a health boss anyway. So, on this phase. So you don't really gain that much by pushing through block. Right? So like on first phase you can punish her blocks with Mortal Blade. Where you can sit there and you can hit her out of you can hit her through her block. But she doesn't actually even block in this phase at all. And you'll notice her HP and stamina and posture are like roughly the same. It's like I posture break her a little tiny bit early. And I probably could have done it faster if I had not taken damage, but you know. There's only so much you can realistically there's only you know, it's like the upper limit to how fast you can posture break her is like probably not that crazy. Even if you're completely optimal, you'd basically health kill her about the same time as you posture broke her, realistically. It's like a little tiny bit closer, but it's not anything super crazy in terms of the differential. Sort of like how Demon of Hatred is, where Or Monkey. Monkey's another one too. Monkey's a really great example. So like both Monkey and Monkey and Demon of Hatred, where they're really not even, they're not posture bosses, they're health bosses basically. And whereas like, and like a counterpoint to that would be like Genichiro or Lady Butterfly, where they block like crazy, and it's really difficult to get HP damage down on them, but you're gonna posture break them almost immediately. Like there's no chance you're not gonna posture break them basically. That's like the whole fight is posture breaking them, right? And then of course obviously you have like dumb puzzle bosses like this one, like these ones that are coming up, where it's like you actually just kind of do one weird trick to them, or you like have to just go through the process of beating them, and that's sort of the idea. And of course the mini bosses are also kind of their own sort of deal as well, right? Where it's like I would never use Flame Vent against most of these big bosses, but Flame Vent is very good against all of the mini bosses, or a large number of the mini bosses. Not all of them. There's definitely some mini bosses where Flame Vent will not work, but it's very good against the overwhelming majority of mini bosses, for whatever reason. Now this section is also extremely dangerous. This section is probably one of the craziest ones in the game, because these enemies will just kill you. They will unceremoniously kill you, and there's really not much you can do about them either. You have really just sort of one choice, and that's to Gotchi Sugar and backstab them. And that's sort of it. Hold up, I want this item. That's Bite Down. It's probably not very useful, but I want to have a bunch of those. So those let you die, which on the surface sounds really bad, but you get to keep your resurrection up. So like there's applications for that. It's not actually an item I intend to use. It's a sort of thing that can come in handy in this game, for sure. I theorize that it's probably not actually very good, because the tempo you lose by using an item is actually pretty severe, to the point where even items like Akko Sugars and even items like Akko Sugars and what's the other one? Akko Sugars and like Divine Confetti and stuff are really tough to justify in most scenarios. Because the thing is, the boss is going to try to attack you. Like most bosses have ways of trying to punish you for estusing, right? Like you can't just heal in the face of a bosses usually, right? So if you can't heal in the face of a boss, when can you Akko Sugar, right? And if you can Akko Sugar, why don't you just get more damage down, right? Because the boss usually isn't going to have windows where you can punish them very often. That's actually fairly rare in this game, I would say. Right, so you're kind of in a tricky spot with Akko Sugar, where it doesn't really last very long, and it doesn't really give you that much extra damage. And all the while, in any scenario where you could use it, you could probably punish the boss and get some fatigue damage, some posture damage or something like that, right? So that's like a really great example of how like it's kind of a zero-sum game, where like some of these buff items, they are theoretically pretty good, but actually using them and getting value out of them is like a more nuanced story than that. You have to use the item and then immediately like do the boss perfectly for it to really pay off. And if you mess up enough, the value proposition like drops precipitously. Yashiriku Sugar being probably the worst example, right, where you die in one hit immediately, but you deal like a little bit of extra damage. And so as long as you're quick killing a boss, that's really great. But if you're not able to just like quick kill a boss and do the boss perfectly, you're in a really tough spot with Akko Sugar. So that's like probably the main example. Like the infamous, like super obvious example. But even Akko Sugar kind of has the same problem. Or like, what are you really gaining for he should flip out here, yeah, he flips out. What do you really gain for Akko Sugaring? If like you're not gonna like make the use out of every last second of it, you know, you lose a decent amount of momentum trying to even use it, right? But there's some fights where the boss doesn't do anything at first, or will just kind of let you set up, like Owl, Great Shinobi Owl, and Owl Father, kind of like this, and whatever her name is, Lady Butterfly. Those are bosses that'll kind of just let you set up on them. They'll just let you use items and not really pay for it, right? But the majority of bosses in the game have serious punishments for trying to use items, in my experience. And so it's kind of a zero-sum game a little bit, which is why I'm not really using things like Akko Sugars right now. But for the Gauntlets of Strength, I will, because not only do you really desperately need the bonus damage, but even more importantly, oh shoot, oh gosh, I took the wrong path through that area. I usually go another way than that way. I usually don't go right through them like that. So that's on me. Oh shoot. That's on me. I can't believe I even actually recovered that. Because those are very, very dangerous enemies. And they're not even really worth fighting. They're kind of like really difficult to actually gain ground on. But yeah, like I was saying about Akko Sugar, right? Where it's really tough to justify using an Akko Sugar on a lot of these bosses. Because if I die, it just does nothing. Or stuff like that, right? But for these Gauntlets of Strength where the items are infinite and I can accumulate a lot of them, I think it makes a lot more sense. Okay, so this is Shimizu. Or Shizu. The Shimizu. Boom. Oh, I got an anti-air death blow. Oh wow. So this is like the joke boss. I don't know why this boss is the way it is. I would kind of like much prefer this boss to actually be kind of interesting. And I get that like not every boss is going to be like really difficult, right? But I think there comes a point where the boss is just like too silly to justify. And I think that boss kind of is in that realm where she can kill you. But the actual also, where does he come from here? Yeah, he like... See, he doesn't swim from anywhere here. If you approach from this angle, it becomes obvious he just pops in from nothing. There's no explanation for where he comes from in that where the fish appears from in like actual real space. Whoa! Oh, come on, man! Come on! I approached from the wrong angle. Yeah, see, this is the funny thing where it's like this one time I just do things from the wrong approach and it like instantly makes the game, I wouldn't say like really hard, but it makes some of these areas a little tighter. Because ordinarily I'm trying to like get through this area while this fish is still doing his dumb introduction animation. And so he hasn't caught up to me, to my movements, is the idea. But in a lot of cases that's not it's just if I just approach wrong, it doesn't work. Because I think what I did is I triggered the fish appearance animation too early. Because usually I approach from a slightly different angle. Because I'm like confused where it is. I'm like, where is the hole I have to go through, right? So I'm like confused where it is, and then as such, because I'm confused about where I'm heading, I kind of like swim around in a stupid way. But it actually causes me to hit the trigger for the boss, or I mean for the fish later. It like said I hit the boss trigger slightly later, and so I have more time to like goof around with the pit, or I'm like in a more favorable position as I approach. But I mean it's not really essential. But I think I will probably. That's the thing, is it's actually a downside to know where the spot is. You know, I have to actually like think to myself, oh, I need to approach from this other angle. Whereas like ordinarily I just approach it from the same angle because like over and over again like fail to remember where exactly it is. So you need to like swim out into the center of the pond and then approach where it is. So we talk to this guy. And then he says a bunch of random stuff, and then he gives me the quest to kill the silly carp. Now, in the wiki, the carp is a mini-boss. I don't know about all that. I guess the carp and the snake brings the mini-boss total to 52. But I guess the carp and the snake are mini-bosses. But part of the reason to do this is to get the Divine Grass. I probably won't need it, but it's one of those things that can bail me out. Because it's an item that instantly fully heals your HP. So if I have enough of those, it's actually not the stupidest thing in the world. It's unlikely to save my bacon completely, but it's the kind of thing where I could use a Divine Grass on literally every boss in the Gauntlet of Strength. And that would be really good. That might be the difference between winning and losing. But, I mean, I'm approaching the point where I have an overkill number of them. And there are easier ones to get, but since I'm killing all mini-bosses, I kill the snake and the fish. Although that's probably, like, way overkill. We come down here. Rest of the bonfire. Honestly, I probably just shouldn't kill the snake and the fish. But hey, we only live once, you know? It's time to kill the stupid carp. The human-faced fish carp or whatever. So we select truly precious bait. Give it to him. Chomp chomp. Horrible, horrible fish. Lefisho, as we call him. And then we'll go to Sunken Valley. Yeah. Probably I just shouldn't kill the fish. You know. But I'll kill the fish. I'll kill the fish. Where do we gotta be? You know? I want to be right here with the people killing the fish. I want to kill them. What? Huh. Is this what a fish mouth really looks like? Because those look kind of like molars. These look like human teeth. I don't buy it. I don't believe fish teeth look like this. I'm sorry. I do not believe that a fish's teeth looks like these. These look like human molars to me. I don't buy it. I don't buy that a fish's teeth look like that. Maybe they do. I don't know. Because they are related to us. Fish are related to us distantly. They're not like insanely closely related to us, but they are related to us. So they can have human teeth, I think. In fact, I think fish are because here's the thing about teeth. So a long, long time ago, our ancestors had bony plates on their heads. Or our, you know, maybe they're not our ants. They may or may not be our direct ancestors, but creatures that are related to us genetically from a long, long time ago, they had these bony plates all over their heads as like a form of armor. And then over time, they developed into like jaws. They developed into like biting mechanisms, right? And so our teeth are actually kind of interesting because you know how they're so sensitive, and how if like a tooth is rotten or something, it's like extremely painful, right? Well, that's because the original purpose of teeth was as a sensory organ. It was part of our mechanism to sense things around us, right? To like sense food, to sense prey, to sense danger, right? Whatever, right? And so that's why our teeth are so sensitive. And they've just happened to evolve over time to be our food grinding mechanisms. But you'll notice that our lips are also extremely sensitive too. And so like babies will like put stuff in their mouths because their eyesight and their hearing and stuff are not as good as adults. And so they're interacting with their world via sensory mechanisms. Basically, is the idea for why like babies put stuff in their mouths so much and like, you know, like chew on stuff or whatever, right? Is because they're sensing the world around them with their sensory mechanisms. So it's really fascinating stuff. Really, really, really fascinating stuff. But I don't believe a fish has teeth like that. Maybe they do. Like I said, I don't know. But those look like molars to me, which are specialized grinding teeth. Those are teeth for like grinding things like seeds and grains, and fruits and, you know, random crap like that. Those are teeth for like gregarious. I think bears even have molars too. Bears and dogs and stuff have molars. Because I think dogs don't. They're not entirely carnivorous. They're predominantly carnivorous, but they also do have to forage and stuff like that. And I think bears are the same kind of deal. Whereas like those teeth allow you to be carnivorous, and then they also allow you to eat just like random crap, you know, like plants and just and berries and tubers and just random junk like that. Seeds, you know, whatever. Is my general understanding of that kind of teeth. And I don't know if fish do that. I don't know, right? So like for example, a parrotfish has highly specialized fused jaws. Has a highly specialized fused jaw mechanism that allows it to to grind up coral, right? So they have like one big giant tooth, essentially, and it's very specialized to consume literally calcium carbonate rock, and that's a parrotfish because they eat corals, right? So corals are a specialized like organism that formed vast colonies. So they're these little weird kind of like tiny organisms, and they form these vast shell colonies of calcium carbonate of like essentially rock, a form of rock, basically, right? And so a parrotfish, to eat those, he has to chew through rock. He has to chew through relatively hard rock. And so he has a specialized jaw that is presumably made of the hardest teeth possible, and then simultaneously he has to continuously regrow his parrotfish teeth as well. Or his like weird jaw system. It's almost like a beak. But presumably it's made of the same material that our teeth are. I don't actually know what beaks are made of. Although, because I think they would be keratin, but maybe they're I can't remember what the material our teeth is made of. Because there's two materials in our teeth. There's dentin, which isn't very tough, and then there's the outer layer, which is something else, right? And so so I don't know if a bird's beak is made out of that or not. I guess I could Google it really fast. Because somebody knows the answer to that question, for sure. You know? Like, that's not a question that is not understood. That's like a did I already give him the whisker, I think? I must have given him the whisker. So we can kill Divine Dragon now. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to look and see what a beak is made out of. What a bird's beak is made of. Furthermore, what is a oh, he drops the treasure carp scales too. That's so crazy. So you don't even have to feed the fish at all. You only have to feed the fish once, technically. So what is a beak made out of? What is a bird's beak made out of, right? Let's do some Googling. I want to know. What is a quote? What is a bird's beak made out of? Tough protein coat. Yeah, they're keratin. They're keratin. How? How are they keratin? And then obviously there's some bone involved too. Why is there such a... How are these things made of keratin? How the heck is a bird's mouth made of keratin? So keratin is the same stuff as your hair is made of. That's the same stuff that hair is made of, and that's the same stuff that your fingernails are made of. So I don't know how a bird's beak could possibly be made out of keratin. That is so crazy. The chemical structure... I see, you'd have to know what the chemical structure is. Because that is very crazy. Right, so there's really not that many hard... So like the idea being is there's like bone. Bone is calcium something. It's calcium phosphate maybe? I don't know. So there's like shells. Like shells are made... There's like shells that are made of like calcium carbonate. And so you'll notice that like a lot of like clam shells and stuff are real hard. You can't just knock those over. You know what I mean? You can't break them with your hand. You can't chew them or anything like that, right? So there's a lot of animals in the animal kingdom that make real hard shells that are so hard that we can't even really interact with them without, like, rocks, you know? So, like, you know, primitive primates and humans would have to, you know, smash those shells open with a rock. And that's the theory for how our evolution kind of works. Is that the earliest humans had to contend with hard shells, right? And a lot of organisms just develop methods of dealing with it, right? So, like, for example, there's specialized snail-eating birds. And those specialized snail-eating birds have a really tough beak. But mostly what they do is they just attack the snail where it's weak, right? So there's like so the snail has like a weak point at the entrance to its shell, and they just attack that, right? They kind of just... They don't even deal with the shell, right? And then you have other organisms that are specialized really hard, like claws or something else that allows them to break into the shell of a snail or something like that, right? Like weevils, right? So like and then plants have what's it called again? It's cellulose. It's like a tree. A tree is pretty crazy if you really think about it, right? A tree is like this really, really freaking hard thing. Like tree, the thing that trees are made of is so tough that we build houses out, that we build structures out of it. Right? And that's really crazy if you think about it, right? Like, this is an organism that produces a material so hard that we cannot interact with it without specialized tools. We as humans have specialized tools to deal with wood, right? And that's our way we interact with wood. And conversely, a lot of insects and other animals like beavers have other specialized methods of dealing with wood, right? So there's like an entire ecosystem that exists around wood as like a resource that can be extracted or lived inside of or dealt with or something like that, right? But if you really think about it, it's kind of crazy that we have no we actually technically have no physiological adaptations that allow us to interact with wood in any meaningful way, except for our tool use, right? Which like that's not physiological, that's mental, or that's a form of tool use, right? But we don't have like teeth that can chew wood. We don't have like any other mechanism, and like some animals do, right? Like bugs and stuff have specialized mouth parts that allow that in its own is completely insane. I want to understand what's going on with that. How the heck does a bug chew through wood? Like, what's going on there? Like a bug is made out of like a bug is made out of a pretty soft material, actually. They're made out of something called what is it called? Chitin. So bugs and arthropods are, I mean, I guess if you really think about it, right? Like a crab is pretty, you can't just knock a crab over, you know? Like, that's a pretty hardcore organism. Right? Like, you look at like a little tiny bug on the windowsill and it's like, yeah, of course that organism isn't very tough. It's like little tiny. You know? It's like, there's no way, right? But even a piece of wood that small, like even a piece of wood as small as a bug is still like really, you can't break that or chew that or anything, you know? That's what's so crazy. It's like you look at a little bug and you're like, yeah, of course a little bug is like nothing. But at the same time, like a piece of wood the size of a bug, if you carved a little bug out of wood, you would have to carve that with a knife. You know, and isn't that just the craziest thing? That's just like, it's just like so crazy. But I guess bugs probably have, you know, lots of like really soft stuff inside of them. And so their actual shell, their armored shells are really tiny. Right? But if you look at a crab, the crab's armored shell is probably made of basically the same stuff. You know? And then an armored crab shell is like really tough, right? Once again, we need specialized tools to actually interact with crabs, right? You need special like metal like crab crackers, and so if you want to eat a crab, you have to have like a system for doing it. You can't just eat a crab, you know? It's not the same as like an apple or something, where you can just like bite into an apple and call it a day, right? Of course, apples are interesting because they're adapted for us to eat them. Part of their strategy is that we eat them, and then we move their seeds around. That's actually their entire hustle. That's their game. And there's tons and tons of organisms that do this. Tons and tons of plants, right? Because plants are obviously sessile. They don't move around at all. They literally cannot move at all. Or at least not really in any way that we can identify as being capable of moving, right? Oh shoot. Come on, man. And so obviously... Oh man. If a plant is entirely sessile, how do they move their seeds around? Well, they make a giant tasty apple, and then you eat the apple, and then the seeds get everywhere, right? And so like either the human plants the apple, right? Or more likely like a giant goat or something eats the apple and then, you know, poops the seeds out, right? And then wherever that goat poops the seeds out, the apple also, I guess, gets like fertilization too, you know? And so that's kind of the crazy thing about those animals, those organisms or whatever. When you really think about it, they're not animals, I guess, but whatever. But it's crazy how, right, like they have like this. Oh shoot! Come on, give me a freaking. There we go. Those organisms have that like very special. Oh shoot! I'm poisoned. But like any part of the organism they don't want you to work with, is like really tough to deal with, you know. Like termites can eat wood. Those are some hardcore organisms, you know. Like those have like those actually have another entirely different mutualistic relationship with microbes, because like obviously wood is actually just made of sugar, believe it or not. Come on, give me a freaking, yeah, there you go. Wood is actually made of sugar, believe it or not. It's literally just basically long chains of sugar, I think, or like special networks of sugar. But it's like chemically bound together in such a way that it's like really tough to that it's like unprocessable, right? And so so termites, they have a special organism. They have special bacteria inside. I'm not sure if it's bacteria or a fungus or whatever, right? But they have some kind of special organism inside of them that allows them to digest wood, right? So they have, and that's how they eat wood. So this organism, whatever it is, this like dumb, you know, microbe has developed a way of converting wood pulp into usable energy into sugars, reconverting wood pulp back into sugars, which is just so crazy. And then they use the termites as like a base of operations, or something like that. Now termites themselves are actually very fascinating because they're actually quite delicate. You cannot like raise termites basically. They're like actually impossible to raise for a human being to do because they have very specific requirements on things like humidity and stuff like that, right? So if for whatever reason the humidity of their enclosure is wrong, they will just die. And exactly why or how that is not fully understood. They're a very difficult organism to farm or otherwise cultivate as a human, as far as I understand it. And so like the funny thing is, right, so they live in the walls, right? So if you have a termite infestation, which is funny, right, because they literally can infest houses, right? So you can literally have termites living in the walls of your house, you know, eating your wooden beams, right? Like, okay, how can they be difficult to cultivate, right? Well, the thing is that within those wooden structures that they dig inside the wood, they have a very specialized system that controls humidity and stuff. And so if you start breaking up those little hallways and stuff that they build, you really damage their ability to survive. And stuff like that. And potentially this actually could be useful in the future of pest control. Because instead of using poisons or baits, you could potentially like do some kind of thing to dehumidify their tunnels, and then that they would die under those circumstances. But yeah, I watched this YouTuber and he's kind of a scumbag. His content's kind of low hanging fruit type stuff. But with that being said, he was trying to farm termites, Canadian termites, and just like random Canadian termites, and he couldn't do it. He would like sit there and he'd make these videos and he'd be like, yeah, I can't, they just die. I don't know what's going on. It could be the temperature in my room, in my termite lab, or my right, because he can cultivate ants. That's the crazy thing, right, is this guy can cultivate these ants. And these ants are you know, for whatever reason, they're not subject to the same issues that these termites are. I need to lock onto him, or he's just gonna kill me. Shoot. There we go. Yeah, so that's the problem, is he gets that combo's pretty tough to deal with. I think so. I don't know. It's tough for me to keep track of what's... I think that's the guy, though, yeah. So I was watching his videos for a while, but they're not that interesting. I sort of wish he would be more informative. He would talk more about their phylum and what scientists know about the termites themselves. But instead he seems a little more like lower. But I mean, I get it. It's like a fish tank guy, where it's like a lot of these guys who raise fish in tanks, right? It's tough enough to raise a fish in a tank, let alone be an expert on fish, you know. So that was, yeah, I think it's Ants Canada though. I'll look really quick. But I think it is Ants Canada. I mean, his videos aren't that bad. I mean, he's trying, you know. Like, as far as I know, he's the only person who's sitting there trying to cultivate termites. So, you know, any port in a storm or whether or not I personally like his content or think it's necessarily very good or constructive, I do have to give him the credit of being the only guy I know of who's trying to cultivate termites, you know. And that's, I don't want to be, you know, it's not personal or whatever, right? I get it, you know. There's only so much you can know about these insects. It's like when you try to look up, when you try to like look up information on some of these bugs, there's like nothing. Yeah, I think. Oh no, is he succeeding? I think it's this guy. Oh wow, okay. I think he's made big strides. I think this guy's actually really okay. Never mind. Apparently, he has a whole new video where he like really busts it down and succeeds at cultivating termites. Never mind. This guy's actually a genius, I guess. Forgive me. When I saw his videos months and months ago, they were not that impressive, but I guess apparently he succeeded now. And he's really making like some crazy stuff happening. I'm actually going to catch up on his stuff because apparently he's really popping off here. Actually successfully cultivating these termites now. That's actually really cool. So yeah, there go figure, you know. I sit there and I dog on somebody, and then it turns out he's actually just like popping off, and just like this is crazy, right? Because this guy, yeah, that's the thing, is that means he's basically. It actually turns out this guy is apparently a world lead. Like I don't think anyone else on the planet is doing what he's doing. That's actually really insane. He's actually succeeding at something that literally no one else has succeeded at up until this point, which is pretty interesting. So I have to give him credit. He really figured out a way to make it work, I guess. That's really cool. Cause yeah, so there you go. Cause apparently he has mushrooms from the termites too. He's successfully somehow gotten mushrooms to grow. So I'll have to watch these videos. But like I saw the first 2 or 3 and they were very nothing burger, you know? They were very much like, okay, like I did this and it failed. And then he has another video and he kind of repeats himself a lot too. Which, like, you know, far be it from me to, you know, it's like, okay, well, you know, that's the pot calling the kettle black, you know. So yeah, like I have to give him that, but you know, if he's successfully pulled it off, like, yeah, like I said, so I need to catch up. But yeah, so the theory goes, this actually could revolutionize agriculture. This is the sort of thing that people need to be doing because obviously, like farming, right? Humans have done agriculture for years, right? But like there's a mutualistic relationship between all these different organisms and stuff, and if there's like a better understanding of those ecological relationships, there could be like huge improvements in agriculture or something. Oh shoot. So I think that's actually really cool. It's like actually kind of weird that this guy is like, I mean, I guess that's the thing, right? Is everyone kind of to a certain extent kind of forges their own path, I guess, right? You know, like everyone innovates somewhere, you know. Literally everybody innovates somewhere in some way, you know. But it is interesting to see like this dumb, like, okay, sorry, I'm still being really rude. It is interesting to see kind of this like YouTube channel aimed at like teenagers, I guess is the way I want to put that. You know, really like pop off and, you know, because there's a lot of like I watch a lot of those Watop ones, and they're really interesting. But he very much like. He repeats himself a lot, and he says, like, really basic stuff, and it's like, I get that this is, like, for all ages, you know? Like, this is, like, talking about, like, ecology or, like, a very real social phenomenon, you know? And, like, homelessness or something, right? And he, like, has to repeat himself a bunch of times because, you know, literally anybody could be watching. And stuff like that, right? And maybe it's, like, good for his business, too. Like maybe it just drags out, you know, video duration and stuff. I don't know. I'm not gonna like I won't assume the worst. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, he's just, you know, farming my time, you know. Whereas like probably to a certain extent he's repeating himself for like very constructive reasons, you know. But it is kind of interesting because, but those are fine videos, you know. But I think the issue with this guy is, this Ants Canada guy, right, is like it really did feel like I watched his videos and they were really big nothing burger. Like, I would really love to know more about what scientists know about these termites, but I don't think he has the background or he has the connections to make that happen. You know, like he doesn't know entomologists and he doesn't know the research papers and they haven't, you know, but maybe in these new ones he's collaborating. See, I'm talking when I don't necessarily know what's in his new videos. But I guess in some ways that makes it even more impressive that he's as successful as he is at cultivating some of these organisms, because if he doesn't have the right kind of like, okay, I did this wrong, I have to go back. I should not be seeing this ninja at all. I literally should not be fighting this ninja. Like, this is so... I mean, whatever, I'll just... Nah, you know what? It's fine. So, you know, I mean, and that's just, like Adam Ragusa, right? Like, Adam Ragusa does that kind of stuff. Where he's like, oh, well, I'm talking to the scientist from the University of so-and-so. And she, like, he has a video on pickling, you know, like, the science of pickling vegetables, right? Like, that's a big deal, you know what I mean? Like, that's actually really important, because if you get it wrong, you can make yourself really sick. You know what I mean? Like, pickling vegetables is really crucial, right? So it's really important that he has, like, a doctor or a food scientist expert there, you know, who's, like, you know, looked at the bugs under the microscope and looked at the germs and looked at the bacteria and looked at this, that, and the other thing. And for them to come to consensus about, like, okay, like, how do I pickle? What's the method? What's the ratio? Right? So it's really great that he reaches out to a scientist. And so this Ants Canada guy doesn't necessarily have that kind of support. But to be fair, like, there's a good chance that the entomologists don't even know, or won't really be able to help him, right? Because, like, I think a lot of entomologists, they they're really good at cultivating certain insects for certain research experiments, but they may not be experts at all insects all the time. You know, so you can ask an entomologist all you want about this, like, termite, right? But, like, an entomologist turns around and says, well, you know, I worked in black soldier fly larvae for, you know, fish for aquaculture, right? So, you know, I worked on a research project where we grew, you know, bug protein, you know? And so there's no reason for them to cultivate these, but that's what makes it so special. That's what makes cultivating these insects so special. Because if this guy can figure out a way to do it, these termites could be a better version of that. That's what makes it so special. That's actually the crazy thing about it is... So this guy's actually... It's really crazy because even though he doesn't have the support of these scientists and researchers yet, you have to hand it to him that he's making really, really huge strides in insect cultivation. And I don't know his background. Maybe he does have a degree in entomology or something. But that's the crazy question, is like, what background does this guy have? Like, is this guy just like a dude who just like decided to grow ants in his lab? Like, that's one of those crazy things. But yeah, I mean, that's sort of the idea, is that, like, when you have people who are doing this kind of stuff in the entertainment field, it really does have the potential to do some crazy stuff, and I really respect that. Oh, shoot. Okay, come on. I don't know what it is. I've snuck up on the ninja before, but I don't know how to do it consistently. I know for a fact I've killed the ninja before. I've successfully assassinated the ninja, but I don't know how to pull it off any more than I already have. He's like really, really, really tricky to deal with. Where is he? And you get also really awkward scenarios like this where the boss is like right there. Come here. Come here. Oh. I need the boss to de-aggro. This guy's tough enough that I really, really, really don't want to have to fight him twice if I can avoid it. Okay, I need to go all the way into the back. This is like really awkward, and I do hate this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I goof up the boss this bad, that I have to like de-aggro him like this. Yeah, so thanks for bringing that guy up, though, because I'm probably going to watch binge his videos after this. But, I mean, it must be hard. It must be really hard to make... It must be really, really tough to come up with good information about these animals. And he has really good photography, too. That's another thing, is that actually he has really good photography. Actually, he has insanely good photography, too. I have to give him that above all else. His photography is immaculate. His photography is absolutely immaculate. Like, truly, truly, truly immaculate. His photography is absolutely immaculate. Like, just perfect. If anything, that's his real claim to fame. You know? My main criticism with as it relates to like entomology is mostly just that I'm not clear if he's searched this, if he sought out the support. You know, did he send some big emails? You know, and that's not to say that entomologists necessarily know more than him or know something, but the question is do they know something? Right, and so I would have loved that in one of his videos. Yeah. Well, no, that's what I'm saying is like what I really should have done is he should go and be like, well, what do we know about these insects? You know, he should like reach out to an entomologist from some, and he could totally do it too. He's a big YouTuber, you know what I mean? Like, there's no reason he couldn't. Is that death? No. he's a big YouTuber too. There's no reason he can't reach out to the University of Ontario's entomology department and ask questions. You know, like he absolutely that's what I need to know is like, I don't expect the Magic College people to know everything about his topic, and I fully expect him to in some ways know more than them. But I really wish he touched bases with those entomologists and asked them, okay, like, what are these? What do we know about these termites? What can I do to cultivate them? What do you think I should do to cultivate them? What potential application? Right? There's a lot of questions he leaves unanswered because he either doesn't or he isn't. He doesn't. He should put that in the video. He should be like, yeah, I reached out to this entomologist at the University of so and so, and like I said, he's a huge YouTube channel. There's no reason he can't get his hands on some experts and ask them some questions and have like a little interview section where he's like talking about where these. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about though. Like he could find somebody. It doesn't have to be like a big section. It doesn't have to be like a fancy section. But I feel like you need to do if you're going to do a video about termites like that, you need to do a little bit of due diligence and ask somebody in academia or entomology like what they think about it, just because you never know, right? They could maybe know nothing, but they could also maybe know something. So that's kind of my main issue. That's like the core problem. And you'll see this a lot with these videos where but I get it, right? I mean, I get the idea that, like, okay, well, like, Or I think even the Watop videos, he does, like, research suggests that, he has, like, some source or something for a lot of the things that he says, right? Where it's like, experts believe that, this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, he doesn't really clarify that enough, but, like, whatever, right? Okay. But, yeah, this guy's he's obviously a really smart guy, but I think he needs to reach out and, like, talk to some other people and try to get their perspective as far as like what is going on with these termites and stuff. But I mean, if he succeeded in spite of that, there's elbow grease for you. Sometimes hard work really is a virtue in and of itself. If he's out there trying to breed these dumb termites and he's succeeding, it's like, well, there you go. You can't argue with those kind of results. So I gotta hand it to him. Oh shoot. I gotta give him my props. This is really interesting. But that's the thing is if he did reach out to an entomologist, or he did reach out to pet store experts, or he did reach out to entomology experts, and he asked them some questions and stuff like that, he should say that in his video. So we have like the full context of like how he came to the choices he did. But I'll see, That was one of those things where when I watched this video, I felt like he never had a moment where he was like, yeah, so this is like part of my research about like how these animals survive and stuff. It's like a little more simplistic than that, And that's the sort of thing that we really need, I think, is like a little more. But I mean, we'll see. Maybe I still haven't watched the new video, so I'm like talking about something that I don't necessarily have all the information on. This is one of those things where it's like this is really cool because, like I said, This is actually really fascinatingly cool because the current insect that they grow is like black soldier flies. They either grow mealworms or black soldier flies, right? And like those are pretty interesting because they really are just balls of pure protein. They're like a grub. They're like a maggot, and this maggot is just pure protein. It has almost no exoskeleton. It has almost no like extraneous components or anything like that. It's literally just kind of a weird sack of protein. And so you can kind of just like give it to a fish or a chicken or something and they can eat it, you know? And as part of like scratch. Where's the ninja? But the thing is that, and so this potentially runs the risk of being even more interesting. Is the ninja just despawn? Where is he? Where the heck is the ninja? Like, he should be somewhere around here. He just fell out of the map, I guess. I don't know. I'll find him. The bad news is I'm gonna have to find him. I'm gonna see where he went when I backstab Juzo here. I'm gonna find out exactly where he is. Oh, that's the worst case scenario where he blocks and then immediately... So you gotta hit him from behind so he doesn't do that. Because he'll block and then do a sweep. Oh shoot, come on, man. Stupid rock. The rock got in my way. Yeah, I guess entomology's not as big a thing anymore. But I think it's being rolled into other, like, biological engineering stuff is what's really going on. Because, like I said, all the, you know, like, there still has to be entomologists because that's where all, like, the pest abatement stuff is. You know what I mean? Like, there's absolutely still people doing entomology in universities, you know? They may not be as specialized. They may be more, like, into biological engineering or biomechanical engineering or something, you know, or, like, practical applications of environmental science and stuff like that, right? Is like the interpretation I understand of it. Because there's no way in heck that people aren't interested in bugs, right? Like, that's just crazy talk. Like, literally there's so much economic and societal potential in insects. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, okay, there he is. He just fell out of the map, I guess, and now he's reappeared. That's so crazy. Like, there's no way in heck that there's, in a million years, that bugs are still not an area of, like, extreme scientific importance at universities across the country. Like, that's just not possible. You know what I mean? So, under those auspices, there may not be entomology departments, but that just means that the entomology department is in something else, you know? That just means that the people who are studying entomology are now, like, environmental scientists or something, you know? Like, that's what that really means. Because I think now more than ever, bugs, like insects and insect research is, like, more important than it's ever been. There's more applications. Like, as technology's improved, our ability to actually use and leverage insect biology and ecology for human industrial purposes has never been bigger. Has never been bigger and stronger. So I don't, like, whether or not entomology departments exist doesn't even matter because there still has to be people doing insect research. Like, insects are one of those fields where people talk about how college is, like, you know, maybe not that, or like university research is not that it doesn't necessarily have an application. Bugs are not one of those areas, you know. Like bugs are like one of the areas that like has the most application economically. Like that's tied into agriculture, that's tied into like invasive species, and that's tied into urban living and just everything. So someone's out there doing bug research. There's no two ways about it. That's what I'm saying, is like he could find somebody. You know, not to mention pest control, of course, which is the classic way. See, for a long time I thought my grandfather was an archaeologist. My grandfather's one of those guys who was GI Bill. So I don't know, in other parts of the world it may be different, but in America at least, a lot of people who served in the war kind of just got to go to college for free, basically. And so my grandpa was one of those guys. And but he worked as a postman most of his life. You know, he really didn't do any work in entomology. But it's interesting because, you know, back in those days it was just like a privilege. You know, it wasn't necessarily about the job. It was more just like, oh, this is a privilege that I have. You know, nowadays people are like, oh, it's an investment and all this stuff. And but I guess I didn't necessarily think of it that way. Back during the war. Or right after the war. But I thought for a long time he was an archaeologist. But no, apparently he was an entomologist, which is pretty crazy. I swear he was an archaeologist. So I don't know how I got those two mixed up. Maybe my mom and uncle have differing memories on the topic. There's a possibility, because I seem to remember my mom saying he was an archaeologist, but maybe my mom didn't know, or my uncle is just wrong. Or maybe I just misheard my mom when I was a kid. I don't know. It's like all of those things are possible. And probably the mishearing one is probably the most likely. But it seems weird that I would mix those up at all. Because even as a kid, I knew the difference. You know, it's like weird. Boom. But, so yeah, that's actually really funny, because that's an area of interest for me personally, too. I'm obviously very fascinated by insects. It's the sort of thing I wish I did in college, was study entomology. You know, there's a lot of different things I could have done in college, but studying entomology would have been pretty cool. I think probably what would have made me... I think retrospectively, if I could do it all over again, I would have studied language or something. I would have studied, like, I would have tried to, like, learn a bunch of languages or something. But I don't know, you know. Coulda, woulda, shoulda type stuff. I studied economics mostly because that's what the internet told me to do. They were like, oh, study economics. And it's funny because I come from economics having a lot of faith in in economics, and like a broad understanding of like the economy, but it doesn't, you know, it's not something that I think has otherwise revolutionized my life. It's definitely enhanced my life on a personal level, but it hasn't necessarily been the be all and end all for me either. Maybe it's cool, you know. Oh shoot, come on, man. Come on. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Is as I do research into the cockroaches in my city, you know, it's one of those things where entomology, you don't need a college degree to be interested in bugs, you know. That's the thing, you know. Maybe it would help, and I value the research of those people, but it's not essential either, you know. Because that's the thing, is that nobody cares about these insects, about like these cockroaches, right? That's the crazy thing. Oh shoot! Uh-oh. What even is going on here? Stupid camera. Camera really goofed me up there. Owl Father can always be an issue. Oh shoot. Especially when I just like goof him up like that. Oh my gosh. I'm like dead. It's been a minute. Yeah, see, once I drove that Mikiri counter, I just like lost all my initiative. And he just goes into Owl. Yeah, it's like the crazy thing, right? Where it's like, this is actually, I was watching a video on this, and I believe it. Where the joke is like, you know the ants you see on the city streets and stuff? Like, the idea being is that people don't actually know very much about those. And like the thing is that like most single-celled organisms, we don't know that much about either. Because a lot of single-celled organisms we don't know the conditions that they grow under. So a lot of the single-celled organisms we've studied are single-celled organisms that grow in ways that are convenient for us. But that's not necessarily completely indicative of the whole field of these creatures, you know? Like these complex organisms, there's like, we've like studied like 1% of 1% of all single-celled organisms, you know? Like not just historically, but like even today. Even like that we know of to like, or theorize to exist, you know? And so there's no reason to think that insects are any different. Right, some insects we've cultivated extensively and we know exactly what they do and stuff like that. But a lot of insects, even insects that are really close to us, we haven't. And that's the crazy thing. You know, so you have these like these like dumb whatever he calls them, these dumb sugar ants on your kitchen and your sidewalk and stuff, or on your kitchen counter or whatever, right? And the reality is we just don't know that much about them. They're actually like really crazy, weird organisms that we just don't know that much about. And because there's like pest control, right? So like pest control, there's a reason to know about them would be pest control. Right? Like, okay, so you want to eliminate them, right? So, like, that's a reason. But you only need to know so much about them to do that, right? Because you'll go, okay, well, they're bugs. And so their nervous system is attacked by this chemical, right? And then once you have that, your need for knowledge on them ceases, right? And so that doesn't... So there's a lot about them we don't know. Or theoretically, anyway. Can I pill it? Yeah, he's gonna let me do it. This guy's a big softie, let me tell you. Letting his son pellet right in his face. There we go. Yeah, I killed him too. That's so good. Awesome. So there goes Owl. So what was I saying again? Yeah, so the black ants and like cockroaches and stuff like that, right? Like all the nuances of their ecology may not be fully understood. And all the nuances of their like behavioral patterns may not be fully understood. Despite the fact that they live right under us all the time. Right? Like you'd think that those would be the organisms that we'd study the most. But maybe not. Right? Because they're not like a crop pest. You know, like if it's a crop pest, people are going to study it like crazy, right? People are going to go out there and they're going to try to learn everything they can about like, you know, like some beetle that eats the orange crop or whatever, right? Like a locust, you know, like a cricket or something that eats all the wheat grain, right? So, you know, that's the sort of stuff that people are really studying like crazy. But these nuisance insects or these nuisance animals that live right under your feet could actually be not very well understood, or like there could be huge aspects of their ecology that isn't fully understood. Because if you observe those sugar ants, they're actually really wacky. They're like actually really extremely vicious, and they attack each other all the time. It's like really weird actually. If you look at those sugar ants, they're really crazy. They absolutely attack each other all the time. It's like every time I'm looking at them, they're literally attacking each other. Every time I look at those dumb little black sugar ants, and they may not be everywhere on the planet. I don't know all the details about their distribution. But every time I see one of those dumb little sugar ants, they're literally always attacking each other. It's like the thing they do is attack each other. It's crazy. It's like, why are these dumb little unassuming black ants so vicious? What is going on that these ants are like the most vicious animals I've ever seen in my entire life? It's like I very rarely, if ever, see animals... I never see animals attack each other in real life. Like, you know, I've seen like a robin eat a worm. You know, that's pretty common. It's kind of standard issue, right? You know, robin eats a worm. You know, pretty standard, right? Like, you see that, right? And, you know, but that's like it, you know? Like, I don't see animals attack each other very often. Those ants are always attacking each other. You gotta be looking really close to see, like, an animal eat another animal. Especially like a bug, you know? But that's what I see all the frickin' time. Is those stupid ants attacking each other. It's like actually really crazy. It's like actually like really insane. How like you look at those little dumb black sugar ants and they are literally always going at it. Like every time. It's like you literally see them on the sidewalk and they are straight up attacking another black sugar ant. It is so insane. Unless they're on your like your kitchen counter or whatever. You know, you see them lined up in your house, right? And they're eating your, you know, you're either eating your, you know, sugar on your, you know, or whatever, or like they're eating out of your bowl or so, you know. That's the exception that like proves the rule. Because any other time I've seen them, they're like just straight up going at it. Just like ripping each other's, you know, legs off, or, you know, just crazy stuff. That's like the weirdest. Those are vicious animals. Those are animals that are so insanely vicious to, and seemingly only to animals of the same species. That's the crazy thing about those. It's like they're like vampire kindred. They're like vampires from Vampire the Masquerade. Or whatever, you know? Like they're just like cursed to like constantly be fighting with themselves. So crazy. And there's some other, I've seen some other, I think there's actually an invasive species in ant from Australia. Because in Australia they have those ants, or is it New Zealand? I can't remember. They have like this ant that that lives inside of electronics. And I think I've seen those around here, and I'm not sure how they got here. But they look superficially very similar to the main black ant species you see here in the city. But they're very different. There we go, shoes. Whew. Oh my gosh. That guy always is just the worst. That guy is so bad because he just one-shots you. He just straight up instantly kills you. No matter what you do. You just, boom, dead. If that guy, whenever that guy shows up. Okay, so now we go, we rest. Alright, I can do the memory. I can get some attack power. It'll be pretty cool to hit 99 attack power, I think. But I think it's like it functions in the same way that like soft caps do in Dark Souls, where past a certain amount you're not actually gaining very much attack power. So like to go all the way up to 99 is like almost superfluous. You're gaining like a very, very, very tiny amount of actual functional attack power by going up to 99. But I mean, it's something, you know? Like, there's no reason not to, is the thing. Like, it's just, you know, there's literally no other way for my character to grow, so that's like it. I mean, I have all the prosthetics. I have most of the skills. Like, I'm not using, like, mid-air deflection. Honestly, mid-air deflection might be decent. And mid-air combo, but I don't really need any of this stuff. It's like vault over, that's like whatever. I have all these. I have all these. You know, bonus drop chance, don't need it, right? And then I don't need this stuff. Yeah. Maybe I should look into some of those, but they're really tough to set up, is the thing. They're, what was I gonna do? Was I gonna go somewhere? No, it's fine, whatever. We'll just kill this next guy really quick. And then after these guys... Yeah, well, I don't need to. The problem is I just don't... It makes more sense to put the points into attack power. Because I do want to hit 99 attack power. I think that's actually more important than filling in the tree. It's because I haven't been filling in the tree. It's because I've gone out of my way not to fill in the tree, is why the tree is not full. If I had chosen to try to fill the tree would be full. But instead I've been putting it all into attack power. Is why. How do I... Oh yeah, I gotching this. You gotta gotching this. And then I'll just blast, I'll kill the general, and then I'll just kill the spear guy. Boom. And I'll just tough my way through the second health bar. Oof. This arena is so brutal too. Because if you touch the fire, you just like take a ton of damage. Okay. And I love how he like spaces you after a Mikiri counter. He's like no other boss in the game where he like pushes you away post Mikiri. So you like can't even Mikiri counter him really. Or you can't even really punish a Mikiri counter that hard out of him. Which is ironic. It's like really ironic, actually. See there? Oh, okay, cool. I did it. There we go. Whatever. There goes him. The problem is a lot of those skills that are remaining are just bad. Like I actually don't need them at all. Like High Monk. Like what am I going to use High Monk for? Like I don't think I'm going to use High Monk for literally anything. Mid-air deflection could be good. So maybe I should get mid-air deflection. Actually, because there's a possibility that I could actually use mid-air deflection for something. And honestly, I might be leaving money on the table by not putting points into mid-air deflection, because like maybe there's like some niche tech where that's like really crucial. I don't actually know. As far as I know, there's no actual use for mid-air deflection except against like normal enemies, right? Like you know, to like block a shuriken from a nightjar ninja, right? Like, okay, like that's maybe the use for it, but obviously that's not actually practical. Like there's no you know, actual use for that, I guess, but that would be like the one thing that like maybe could shine through as like being something that I would use that for. But I haven't found a scenario where I like need to block midair. But like I don't know, maybe I'll find one and I'll be like really sad that I didn't, you know, I didn't invest in that. I don't know, right? That's definitely possible. It's definitely possible that in Inner Ishin, you know, I need to block something midair, right? and I'm really in trouble if I can't do that. So so maybe I should just take it on principle. Maybe I should fill out the skill trees. You know, maybe I should, just in case, just like in case. But as far as I know, there's actually no point. Where am I going? Oh, it's where am I going? Oh yeah, it's Old Grave. I need to go to Old Grave. It's Old Grave I'm going to. Because I need to go across the way and kill whatever his name is. What is his name? Shigekichi the Red Guard. That's actually what I'm doing right now. So we used a double divine abduction against these guys to pick them off really fast. This is actually my favorite. I think double divine abduction actually might be my favorite prosthetic. It's either that or flame vent, because I really do like flame vent. It is really, really good for what it's supposed to do. The problem with flame vent is it just doesn't do anything against the trickiest enemies or bosses. So like it's like, oh, you know, I killed the spear guy faster. It's like, well, isn't that great, you know? But what about you know, this guy coming up, right? And so like, double divine abduction is the one that has the most potential to be the coolest, prosthetic in the game. Absolutely, at least I think, in my opinion, because you get to like do lots of crazy stuff. I love the arc on those bullets. It's pretty funny. Oh, that's adamantite scrap. Boom. Now we got Gene Sugar. Okay, cool. Let's see if I can take these guys apart properly. Because there is, I know you can really stealth through a lot of this. It's not like a given, but you can do it. But I need to actually get it right. It's not like super easy or anything. So I think he doesn't see me. Yeah, there we go. And the Ashin should be able to finish off the last two. And then I gotta be really careful in this section here. This guy's the toughest one to deal with. Because the lookout can see me. Oh shit, there it goes, yeah. Oh shoot, yeah, there it goes. Oh, I didn't hit it. There we go. Yeah. How about them apples? I love that. It's so good. That's why it's my favorite prosthetic. It's the prosthetic that's like the best in the game, but only for like a very specific thing. But it's so good at it that you can't help but love it. And it's like actually really hard to pull off too. But being able to pick off stupid Red Guard is like just so crazy good. Like you just don't get that anywhere else. But I think you're supposed to stealth them anyway. You're supposed to assassinate them. Really? Come on. Come here out into the center of the arena, please. Well, I gotta be careful because you can aggro the guy. There's a guy on that. Oh shoot! Who sees me? Oh, I think it's the guy I'm talking about. It's that guy up there, I'm pretty sure. Shoot. This is like the last mini-boss other than Headless, so it's not surprised he's gonna give me problems. The heal drop. Yeah, I think I'm aggroing the one up there. Oh no, okay, shoot, it's right there. No! Boo. Boo. Boo, the Ashina didn't do their job. Boo. Hold up, I can fix this. I can fix this. I can fix this. I can hella fix this. Watch. I can fix this. I can totally fix this. Well, we just gotta get him in the right position. Come on. Yeah, there you go. There we go. I fixed it. Boom. What? Whoa, 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 what? Air horn. Air horn. And the lesson learned here is never rely on the Ashina to do anything. Never trust the bumbling Ashina to do anything at all. That was good. I liked that. That was actually really good. I'm really proud of myself there that I was able to do that. That was like unduly impressive, I think. Uh-oh. I think I hit him too straight on. See, that's the nice thing about this boss, though, is he may stink to fight. But you can just, like, walk away from him and he's not going to stop you. You know? There we go. I did it. Okay, cool. That's awesome. That solves that. we probably have enough time to kill whatever his name too. We probably have enough time to kill what's his face too. Demon of Hatred, which will be really nice. I'll like that. That's really good. Well, we'll see. That was awesome. That was actually like one of my most stellar moments in Sekiro, I think. That was like almost highlight reel worthy. But I just like see this is why Double Divine. This is the thing about Sekiro is because it's such a weird game that people don't know everything about it, and you really can kind of develop your own style, and you really can like find ways to make prosthetics work for you if you just look hard enough. I think that's really impressive because I was watching some guy kill Ishin Ashina. And he was using the umbrella. He had some way of using the umbrella. I have no idea what he was doing or which attack he was blocking. I need to watch it again. But this guy was using the umbrella on Inner Owl or something. It was like really impressive. I was like, wow, like this umbrella can do something. Like umbrella is that one where I'm like, oh, this does nothing, but not so necessarily, you know. And so I gotta give that gotta give credit where credit's due. Boom. What can you? There we go. There we go. Uh-oh. Where is it? Yeah, let's red gourd up. Let's red gourd Freeman. Yeah, I mean, you know. Red gourd Freeman. That's me. So-called free thinkers when I bring out the red gourd. The elemental gourds are actually like not that bad. They're like, cause like the bosses, there's a bunch of bosses where you can get away with them. Like this guy's not gonna stop me from drinking a red gourd. It really, like it kind of will in some cases, but not always. And like Owl, like Great Shinobi Owl will not stop me from drinking a green gourd. Like you totally can drink green gourd on him, not always. But like there definitely are scenarios where you can absolutely get away with drinking green gourd on Great Shinobi Owl, you know? So it's like not that bad. And then obviously purple gourd is like really great against anything that tears, even like monkey. And he like won't really stop you from doing it either. Like purple gourd is obviously the best. But and the thing is, I don't think it's really feasible to use red gourd against Ishinashina is the thing. I think red gourd against Ishinashina is like a meme. I think that's like the one exception. Where it's like you'd really like to use red gourd against Ishinashina, but it's just like not a thing. That's like the one exception. But yeah, even this guy red gourd's not bad. This is like my favorite boss in the game too. He's one of those bosses where when you first encounter him, you're like, how am I supposed to do this? And he's kind of awkward because he's sort of like a Dark Souls boss trapped in Sekiro. Like you have to dodge him like a weird amount for Sekiro. He's like a great example about how like Sekiro is like supposed to be the block game, but the harder you go, the more blocking becomes, the more dodging becomes like essential. And like you have to dodge. It's gonna knock me away, yeah. Well, let's see if I can red gourd here too. Oh, red gourd comes in again. The red gourd gang is all about that W. Boom. Look at that. The heckin' red gourd gang. Back at it again. Ugh, that attack always makes me nervous. That's like probably the worst attack he has. And I've said this many times, but it's because you have to transition from a run into a jump. And if you do it too early, you just get hit. And there's like nothing you can do, really. You just have to do it right. And it's probably may actually be one of the hardest attacks in the game to dodge. Not even because, like, I think there are attacks that are maybe harder to dodge because you have to go from a block, you have to go from a hit into a block, like, fast. But just because, like, the nuance of switching between those two buttons at the right time is, like, very extreme. You want to jump right after he hits the ground with his arm. So he slams his arm down, and then what happens is that's when you want to jump. You don't want to jump before his hand touches the ground. But it's, like, tough to do. Yeah, and I got lucky and he didn't do it again. That's like the worst attack he has. By far, I think. Which in some ways says a lot about how easy this boss really is. Because if that's all he's got, he's like actually not that crazy. Of course, you know, he doesn't really one-shot me either. Which is probably part of the thing about him, is if he like... I'm on max difficulty and he does not one-shot me. So, like, when I first started playing, when I first fought him, I'm like, why? Why does this guy hit so hard? Why does this guy hit so hard? But in reality, he doesn't hit that hard because he isn't one-shotting me, you know? Like, my expectation for what hitting hard is like he one-shots you. You know, because there are bosses that one-shot you in this game, you know? Like, you basically can't really take a combo or else you're, like, too far back on the back foot. But this guy's actually pretty generous. He does a lot of damage. But, like, that's kind of it. And then, like, he's probably not going to hit you twice in a row. Unless you're just, like, out of Estus. Unless you're just, like, out of healing items. And you can malcontent him, too. Although he is a marathon, for sure. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, see, it's like, once again, it's I was able to Estus in there. Like, that's so crazy. I think if you get hit by the slide, if you get hit by the thing you have to jump over, you will instantly die. I think that's, like, the one exception. I think that will one-shot you if you don't jump over the slide. I think that's actually the exception. is if yeah, that's it. That's the one exception for sure. And in the third phase, he does 2 of them, so it's like extra. Oh shoot! I meant to. He's doing 2 rings of fire. Frickin' Elmo. Frickin' what's it? Creepypasta Elmo. Yeah. It's like you go online and it's like, I saw a scary Elmo. Or no, what's a creepypasta thing? Yeah, you get the idea. Frickin' creepypasta Elmo. There we go. Uh-oh. Yeah, he just lets you drink in front of him. He's actually just like so crazy. He has no qualms with just like letting you drink. He's just weird. He's hard literally because you have to dodge so many of his attacks. Like, you can't just block everything he does. Okay, and that's gonna be the end of the stream, too. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I gotta go make dinner and stuff. It's really awesome that I got as far as I did. Now it's just headless and double monkeys. And then Ishina Ashina for next stream. And there's not gonna be a stream tomorrow. I have to go to, I have to volunteer tomorrow. Okay. Well, we can give ourselves an attack power bonus before the stream ends. Huh? Let's do that. Let's juice our attack by 2 more points. Yeah, look at that. 86. Bam. 87. Kaboom. You know what? It's just practice, is what it really is. But thank you very much. I do try. I am really trying my hardest here. So, I'm really grateful to have had the time to just like do these bosses over and over and over again. And if it weren't for streaming, it'd be a lot harder for me to do that, you know. So I feel like I have the opportunity to really become good at this game, and it's because of viewers like you that's even possible, you know. So have a good night, everybody, and thanks for watching.